Hi, I'm Dustin with Pro AV School and welcome to the channel. In this video, I want to show Crestron programmers something that I use all the time, and I call it virtual source remapping. This video that I'm going to share today is from a course that I created called the TLDR method, and I wanted to share it with a bunch of people here on YouTube because I think it's a very useful thing. What I do in almost all my programs is take source selection numbers, turn them into virtual indexes, and remap them. Check out this video and I'll show you how I do it. A virtual source is a source that is identified in your program by an arbitrary number rather than a physical port number. This virtual source identifier, or index number, is used throughout the program whenever you need to do an action based on a specific source. A common example is showing a specific source control pop-up for each source that is selected. When you get to the part of the program that controls the physical device, the virtual source identifier is remapped to a physical port number. This technique allows you to change ports around at will without changing the underlying code. Essentially, the rest of the program outside of the device control is independent of the actual hardware configuration. You can also send the virtual source number to a bunch of different devices and have them each respond differently. Let's take the example of a room with a video switcher, audio switcher, and a display. When Blu-ray is selected, the video switcher might need to switch to input 3, the audio switcher to input 7, and the display to input 2. Without virtual sources, you would be hard-coding a bunch of triggers to do things on 3 devices when this source is selected. This type of code is hard to maintain, especially if the inputs need to be swapped. Let's look at this using virtual sources. Let's say Blu-ray is virtual source 2. This number is assigned to the signal representing the source for the room and is sent to the logic for all devices. Each device logic section interprets the source selection differently. The audio switcher says, virtual source 2, okay, that means I need to switch my input to 7. The video switcher looks at virtual source 2 and knows that it needs to switch to input 3. Same with the display, it sees source 2 and knows to switch to input 2. If the inputs on any of the devices need to change, you can simply adjust that remap value in the section of logic for that device's control. There is no need to change anything else in the program. Hopefully, you can see how powerful virtual sources can be in creating a loosely coupled program. Overall, this helps you with code smell by giving you less bugs to chase around now and in the future. Let me show you how we perform the remapping with a pretty basic analog remapping module. This module takes an analog input from 0 to 16 and provides an analog output. The remapping values are provided by the parameters which give the desired output for each input value. Going back to the virtual source discussion, your virtual source value would be what you track through your program and feed to AN. The parameters are essentially a list of the physical input numbers corresponding to each virtual source from 0 to 16. Any change of AN will cause the analog equate to reevaluate its input. From there, it will set only one digital high for inputs 0 through 16. Anything outside that range will just be ignored. The digital signals will drive one of the 17 analog initialized symbols, which will set A out based on the remapping defined in the parameters. So if out for in1 is 12, then when A in equals 1, we would set A out to 12. And I wanted to explain how the module is built, just so you don't see it as a black box. You can understand easily how it takes the values and changes them and outputs the corresponding different value. I hope you enjoyed this video and that it was super helpful for you. There's a download below where you can access that remapping module and use it in your own programs. Please like the video here on YouTube and subscribe to the channel for notifications when new videos go live. We'll see you in the next video.